Hello, and welcome to another wonderful Wired Wednesday. My name is Ashley, and this is Listen and Read on the Go with Libby. So today I'm going to take you through how to get into Libby and then what Libby has to offer. There have been some new updates since the last video, so I'd like to cover those today as well. So Libby just looks like a little girl with a book up to her face. So once you get in, it's going to ask you if you have a library card. So if you don't have a library card, come on in and get a library card. You just need to have a piece of ID or a tax bill or a bill that's coming to the address in the town of the mountains. So I'm going to go, yes, I have a library card. So they can guess your library if you want them to, depending if your location services are on. I'm going to search for a library. So now we're going to type the library name. So we're going to type in Blue Mountains. So you can see here that it says Ontario Library Service Consortium, the Blue Mountains Public Library. You want to choose this one. The one below it is actually in Australia, just so you know. So you just click on the one that's the top one, Ontario Library Service Consortium. All right, so now we're going to sign in with my card. And then once again, we're going to choose the library again. So I'm going to click the 200 more, and then we're just going to go down to blue. There we go. And now your card number. So this is your library card number without any spaces. The card that we give you and the fob is the same number if you've never changed your library card. Okay, so you can see here that this is the Blue Mountains. I have 8 holds right now that I'm waiting for to come in. So you can have up to 10 holds at a time. And then I have 1 loan out of 10 loans. So you can have up to 10 loans out at a time per card. Okay, so this is what they call the download center. So the first thing you want to do is you can go into the download center and it'll give you some information here. So it gives you the directions to the library, it gives you all of our email information, and then down here is talking about your card and what you have. Now the other thing you can do with this as well is you can go into a magazine and read it without borrowing it. You can also subscribe to the magazine, so each month it just gets dropped into your loans. So let's just pick the New Yorker, for example. So we can just open the magazine, and you can see here that the magazine will just open, and you can go through and you can read the magazine. So let's go back. So now it says here, would you like to keep this issue on your magazine rack? So you can keep it for 7 days at a time, and then, or you can hit not this time. So I'm going to hit not this time. But then down here below, you see it says subscribe. So you're going to hit subscribe. And then now what it's going to do is going to put it into like what they call a smart tag. So they'll let you know when new issues of the magazine are added to your library. So you can hit that. And then you can now manage your notifications. So if you go down here, manage notifications. And you can see here it's been tagged. So what it will do is each month now it will drop it into your box, like into your loans area where the books are. We'll go through that again, and it'll be there for you to read. I'm going to unsubscribe because I don't really need that magazine. So I'm going to hit done. Okay, so now going along, so I'm just going to go back to library. So you can see here, this hasn't really changed much. There are a few different changes. So like, for example, you can still do all these things where you can filter by audiobook, filter by books, magazines, etc. The type of one that you're looking for, the subject of it, availability, sort by, different things like that. So you can go through all those things, and you can show the titles. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go over to, so it's the books, audiobooks, magazines. So you can see here, these first ones are place a hold, because obviously they're popular. So people are placing holds on these, and people are reading them right now. And then if you go over to the left-hand side, you're going to hit the filter, for example, and then say you want something that is available now. So if you go down to availability, available now, show 70,000 titles, and then you can see it's showing you everything. And then if you want to filter it even further, you can do that as well. And then you can just go into whatever you like. Magazines are here. You can open the magazine. And then the books and in audiobooks, you can borrow them as well. So you just hit borrow, and it will go into your shelf. So you just go to, there's crossword puzzles, cats, Time Magazine cats. But yeah, anyways, it's just showing you what's available. So if you want to just filter this now. So say, for example, you don't want magazines. So I would hit this filter again, and then we're going to hit books and then show up at the top, and then there we are. So now you can see it's just books here. And then you can filter it by children, etc., whatever you'd like to do. But these are all available at this moment in time. So going back to library. So you can hit also across the top, there's these different categories. So newest, for example, so it's showing you what's new. So you can place holds on the new things. And there may be some that you can borrow here as well, but most of these are hold because they're brand new books, so people want to read them. And then magazines, like I said, there's over 5,300 titles of magazines. You can go into a kids section here as well, teens, magazines, mysteries, and thrillers. And they just kind of take these and kind of curate them into different categories for you. Your lucky day, so there's no waiting. You can borrow it for 7 days only because it's a hot pick. Then you can see here just added, so you can hit the see over 500 titles of ones that were just added. And you can just keep going down. You can also filter by audiobook as well, so that would be back in the filters. But you can see down here, for example, Flat Broke with Two Goats. It is an audiobook. It has a little pair of headphones next to it. It says 9 hours. So when you see something like that, or like Nicholas Sparks at first sight, 9 hours. So you can see when it has the headphones and the time that it is an audiobook as well. And you can listen to that. It will download it to your device, and we'll go through that as well. So now going down to the very bottom, so the little Carnegie Library across the bottom, that is where you come back to almost like your home button. You come back to this download center. Then you have the 3 lines that are here, the hamburger menu. So you can manage your notifications. So what you can do is you can go into manage notifications, and then you can see here. So a lot of times people think they missed something or it didn't come to them or whatever. What you can do is you can get a notification that pops up on your device to let you know that something's available. So there's a loan expiring one, it will do that. Loan's expired, it will do that. A hold's ready, it will let you know. Hold lapsing, it will let you know. Hold lapsed, etc., etc. So you can just keep going through here. Whatever you want them to tell you, you can just do that by the settings, and it will give you a notification just like it pops down on your phone, like when you get a phone call or a text message, to let you know that there's a hold available for you, and then you can go into the app and borrow it. And then once you've checked something out, you're going to go over to your bookshelf. And you can see here that I have one audiobook that I'm reading right now. There's some notices here as well that you can look at. Your loans are up here. So this has kind of changed a little bit since the last time. So it's actually up on the top now. So the loans are here. Your holds are down here. So you can see here that I have these holds, and it tells me how many weeks I'm waiting for these holds. So the reason why you'll see sometimes some long hold lines, for example, is that, like say for example this one here, energy in action. So 16 weeks it says. So I'm the 8th in line, and 1 copy is in use, and 13 people are waiting. So I'm going to get that for a while from now, and that's okay. We're just waiting. It's patient. I'm waiting patiently. I'm waiting. In the Defense of Witches, 10 weeks, so it will deliver after September 11th. I believe I actually missed that one, so it's going to come back to me. And then you can see here, same thing. So 1 copy, 13 people waiting. 5 copies, I'm not 60th in line. There's 91 people waiting, but there's 5 copies. So that really gives you an idea. And this one says several months. I think this one doesn't come out until later on, so. And then audiobooks, so you can go over to audiobooks. It just kind of breaks it down by audiobook. And then up here in the corner, you'll see that there's actions. So you can spend all your holds. You can synchronize your shelf if you need to. So like it's just going to give you like a refresh to make sure everything's there. And then going back to your shelf. So once again, your shelf is here. So there's some notices here. So you can see here that my hold lapsed, and they'll try to deliver it again in 7 days. So I know I missed that one. It's going to deliver it later. Same thing with the Witches of Eastwick. So then across the bottom here, so now we're going to go over to the tag button. So this is the smart tags. So these tags they can let you know when issues of magazines are coming up. So that's what the smart tag is. So if you subscribe to magazines, it will show you what magazines are available and when they're ready. So it'll notify you of that through the app, through those notifications. And then smart tag borrowed. So this is replacing the timeline now. So instead of seeing a timeline of things that you've borrowed, it's going to put it into the smart tag borrowed area. So you'll see that the titles that you borrowed on Libby. I just refreshed this whole entire thing, so it's just showing me what I borrowed recently on here, but it should have a list of them for you there as well. All right, so just going back to the home. So then I just want to show you how to actually go into the accessibility settings as well on this. So say, for example, we go into books, and then we'll do available now. So I'm going to filter. So we'll go available now. And then, yeah, I'll just leave it like that. So we're going to show the titles. And I'm going to borrow one of these, and I'm going to show you how to actually make it so you can see it better. So basically, if you have low vision, or you need to have a different lighting, or there's many different things, and everybody has their comfort zones for reading, you can go in and you can do that as well. So I'm just gonna borrow, say, Bridgerton collections. I'm gonna borrow this. So it says here that I have 1 out of 10 holds, so I can borrow it for 14 days. So that's 2 weeks. Borrow. Okay, so I'm gonna go to shelf. And you can see here that it's actually downloading now. So it's set up to actually automatically download. You'll see there's a check mark there, which means that you can actually download it. It's downloaded now to your device, and then when you go outside of Wi-Fi or outside of data, you will have access to this as well. So I'm going to open it. So this is just the cover. So I'm just going to push it along here, and I'm going to change this to a better font. So let me just wait till I get in here. Okay, so this is the prologue here. So I'm just going to tap. So you're going to just tap on the page, and then across the top, there's an A. So if you hit that A, you can change your text. So you can include the accessibility sizes. So the text will go pretty big if you would like it to, and it gives you an example of what it looks like. And then if you don't like it, you can always change it and bring it back down a bit. You can change it to bright lighting, which is what I have on now. Sepia, which is more like a book color. And then there's dark. So at nighttime, this would be easy on the eyes and things like that, so you can read it that way. And then the actual brightness of the screen is controlled by your device. So if you have an iPad, you're going to make sure that the brightness is turned up, by pulling down from the top. Same thing on an Android phone. You can adjust the brightness how you feel. You can change the text as well on this one. So what you can do is you can have it as legible, scholar, paperback, open dyslexic, and custom. So for example, open dyslexic. So you can see here, this is open dyslexic. I find this easier to read myself. There's space between the words, the way that the actual letters are made. It's just easier to read for certain people. And this is what is great about Libby, because with a book, you can't really do this, but with Libby, you can. So and then across the top, you can search within the book if you want to search for something in particular that you've seen before. And then now I'm just going to go back, and it will remember where you are at the time that you do it. So at the top, in your shelf, you can see that there's actions at the top in the right-hand corner, and you're going to go to change download rules. So you just want to make sure that you are downloading everything on Wi-Fi. Because you don't want to use any data. If you're on a phone, for example, if you're outside of your house and you're on Libby, it will download it using that data, and you don't really want it to do that if you have limited data. So going into actions and then going down here, you can actually see, you can change your download rules. So everything will be downloaded automatically, and then download only on Wi-Fi. So you can just make sure that's on in green, and then you're good to go. And that's Libby. Have a great day.